Hey YouTube, I'm back with another video. I guess my background may have changed a little bit. Used to normally be over that side a bit more, but I got a new desk. So I'm in a bit of different spot. Don't mind me. I constantly feel like I need to fix my hair, which, if you've noticed, is definitely getting a lot longer. Which is good, because I wanted to get longer so that I can get more curly. Anyway, today's topic of this video is actually going to be about being openly trans and non-binary at work, which I may have made a video about this before, but I'm making another video because it's even just being open in general to the public. So I'm not going to mention where I work, or anything like that, because, I just want to keep it, private. I might do horror stories, about my work, but I'd probably keep that on my other channel, where I'll do a little animation to it. Anyway, so I'm open about being trans and non-binary to my coworkers. Now, none of them use my correct pronouns, which I just sort of let it slide. Even though it does make me dysphoric and uncomfortable, I just don't want to cause, any problems or issues. But they all do know pretty much that I'm trans, and that I'm non-binary. I was being stealth, where I was pretending to be a cis man, for a while. But, I think at one point I just was I was thinking you know what? I'm just gonna tell them. I'm just gonna be you know what? I'm trans, and that's why I'm making a book about non-binary kids, because I'm non-binary myself. And everyone took it really, really well. There were two people that knew me before, I transitioned, and when I just came out as well. They were both very, very respectful of not telling anyone my birth name or anything like that, which is really great, and, as far as I know, everyone there's super accepting and respectful of how I identify. No one has an issue with it. Everyone's very, very polite and very, very friendly. And I love where I work. I work at a lovely toy store, which I hope to one day have my children's book there. But it's a really great thing. It's really positive too, because when I had my previous jobs, it was not a friendly environment. It was not a good environment, and I had to be constantly ridiculed, and I was really, really, really trying to be stealth. And someone found out, and someone spread that around, and it was not good. It was not fun. And it's hard for me to be stealth. It's hard to be stealth when you're non-binary anyway, because you pretty much always have to come out. Especially when you correct people on pronouns, you're pretty much always outing yourself. Because otherwise people just assume that I'm a cis man, or if I do say I'm trans, they would just assume that I am a binary trans dude. And of course, obviously, there's nothing wrong with that either. But I also, I like to educate people. Sorry, just gonna drink my tea. And I actually had a funny story with these two little twin girls, probably 4 or 5. And one of them hands me something and goes, "Here you go, mister." And then the other girl was like, "Wait, are you a mister?" And I just laughed, and I was like, "Who knows?" Because, obviously I'm not going to be well, actually, I'm non-binary, because, there's a time and a place for that, and at work is not really the place for that. Although it was nice, because I actually met another non-binary person at work, and they don't work there, but it's really nice because we talked and stuff, and I see them come in all the time with their mom, and their mom's super nice and super accepting, and I was just like, oh my god, another non-binary person. And it was super exciting and super great. And, I mean, also, as a side note, an update on my book is that my book is kind of on hold at the moment. I've spoken to the editor, and she's spoken to my publisher, and we're hoping it's going to be published by next year, but right now it's kind of on hold. I mean, my book is basically ready to go. All I have to do is do, like, the final copy, which, like, final line art, final color, put it together, good to go. But I'm waiting right now because I want to see if there's any changes I might need to do, because I don't want to do it all and then have them be like, actually, you need to change this whole thing, or you need to add something, or you need to take this whole part out. Which, I mean, obviously, I'm fine with doing anything that they need me to do. But yeah. So yeah, all in all, it's been, my work has been super positive. Sometimes, you know, if I'm talking to customers, then I mention, like, oh, you know, I'm actually a children's book illustrator, because if they're buying children's books, or I'm in that section, and we're just chatting about children's books, and they ask me for recommendations, and I'll show them some of my favorite authors and illustrators, and kind of slip in, like, oh, I actually am a children's book illustrator and author myself. And we talk about that, and we talk about if I have any books out. I talk about my first book, and if they ask me, like, oh, so, what made you choose to do, this type of topic? And sometimes I'll be like, oh, well, I'm actually trans myself. And everyone I've talked to has been super positive, and they're like, oh, okay. And they think, I know a lot of them have, like, I think, pretty much 100% of the people I talked to about it were like, this is really great, that's really great that you're doing this, you know, we need so much more education and books about this. So that makes me feel good. I know obviously I'm not the first person to put out a book about being trans or anything like that, especially a children's book. You know, there's Jazz Jennings. Is that how you say her last name? You know, she has her book out, and I actually have it over here. I'm gonna grab that. Excuse me, I'm in my PJs. But, you know, she's got her book out, and it's really great. And I love it a lot. And, I was thinking of almost doing one about myself, because my current one is not about me. It's about, a non-binary child, kind of trying to discovering who they are, and meeting all these other people of various non-binary identities. Whereas this one is specifically about herself. And, I might do one similar to this, like, not to copy her idea, of course. I'd probably call it, like, the name I have this channel, calling it Becoming Jeffrey, and having it about my coming out story, as a children's book. So, that's an idea, but, that's an idea for a different time. Right now I'm just working on getting my first book out. But yeah, so I'm also, as many of you know, I'm openly out online, even as an illustrator, that, like, first and foremost, I'm like, I'm an agender illustrator. These are my pronouns. Like, I'm not a man. I'm not a woman. I'm agender, non-binary, I go by they, them, or z's, them. Like, I'm out, and if people have a problem with it, then I guess I won't be working with them, but yeah, so I'm basically out and open, and not everyone can do that, and that's fine. I know that, probably when I get a second job in January or February, because right now my hours are great, I'm constantly working. I actually have work today, later in the day, so I have a couple hours to relax. I'll probably, when I get a second job, I'll probably just remain stealth, and pretend that I'm just a cis man, as much as it sucks, but, I'll probably just only choose to be, like, I mean, sure, if anyone wants to see my artwork, they're gonna find out right away that I'm trans and non-binary, and that's fine. But while in the working environment, I probably won't, tell anyone at my second job, if I get one. Anyway, this video is kind of like getting long and it's rambling, but you know, long story short, my experiences have been really, really great so far in this job. Other jobs, not so much, but yeah, so I'm gonna end it here. I'm not quite sure what else to put out at the moment. I know that it's really, really close to my 3 years on T. It's about a month away, and it's also a little more than a month away from my consultation. Which I'll do a big update video on my 3 years, and I'll do an update video about how the consultation goes, and yeah, so I'll also leave some links below where, if you want, you can help support me through commissioning me, coffee or Ko-fi donations, Patreon, like all of that, but other than that, like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave suggestions, and I will see you when I make another video. Bye, guys.